You are listening to Wilhelm, a film-centric podcast for film lovers of all kinds. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Wilhelm. I am your host, Ben Beck, and it is officially Spooktober, which means all month I am bringing you Halloween-themed episodes. And with this episode, we're kicking it off with the creature feature portion of the month, revealing and discussing our top 5 favorite vampire movies. But before I go any further, I need a guest to help me out as always. He's a first-time guest of Wilhelm, but he's been a friend for a number of years now. He's a musician and artist who you might know from the band No More Kings. But more importantly, he is a huge pop culture junkie, just like myself, which is you missed out our half-hour conversation before we even started recording, just getting caught up on the MCU. Please welcome to Wilhelm, my friend, Pete Mitchell.
Thanks so much for having me, Ben.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
I have a number of people like in, entertainment industry and, artists and stuff like that. And I want to, up until this point, it's been just a lot of friends that have come on to help me get the podcast launched. But now I'm expanding. I'm bringing in the artists. I'm bringing in the entertainers. You're the first one. And I'm happy to kick it off with you.
Nice. I'm honored. I didn't realize that.
Well, I didn't tell you that part.
No, there you go.
I kept that part a secret. It was a reveal for the podcast.
I love it.
So, yeah, you and I were talking a little bit. We usually go a couple years before we talk, and then it usually shows in our conversations because we go off topic and it takes us a half hour to an hour to even get started because we just get caught up on pop culture stuff.
I think it's everything is fair game with topic. So there's no off topic for us. It's just all topic. And
we usually tend to share a lot of the same interests.
You know what? Absolutely. I've realized that this past talk, like, that's why I feel like we could talk about any genre, any movie, because we've got some commonality in everything so far.
Yeah. And I'm looking forward to it because it means, like, I already know you said you looked through the list and you were like, oh, I can think of a bunch of them. I'm like, well, just tell me what they are. We'll bring you on for all of them.
Oh, right. Absolutely.
This isn't a one-time thing there, bud. So, vampires. This is the topic we're going to kick off Spooktober with. And I'm excited because there's a lot of vampire movies out there, good and bad.
Yeah, a lot of bad ones.
I, as per usual, I don't know what any of your choices are. You don't know any of mine. I think it's safe to say and safe to assume probably that Twilight is not on either of our lists.
It's not on my list.
Good man. I might have had to disconnect this call right now if it was.
Those are vampires. They sparkle.
Thank you. I say that all the time. I get friends on my case all the time because I diss on Twilight. And I'm like, Robert Pattinson disses on Twilight.
Yes.
Anna Kendrick refuses to admit she was in those movies.
I forget she was in it. Oh
so
God,
does she.
Good for her. She's right too.
It's so funny. Anytime somebody brings it up on like a talk show, she's like, I'm not in those movies. And I love her so much more for that.
God, she's great.
But I feel like, I don't know what your opinion on this is, but I feel like almost those movies, and there might be listeners who will disagree with this, I don't think there's been a good vampire movie that has come out since those movies. I feel like those movies were kind of a detriment to the genre.
I'm actually waiting for that to happen with zombie films too. I keep thinking it's going to, but I agree with you. Twilight killed the vampire genre. It will come back hopefully soon and hopefully better. But I think you're right. I think it put a temporary, embargo on vampire films because everybody's like, I guess we're done, right? I guess we're kind of done with that.
Like this changes it for the worse.
Yeah, really. Like, it really did.
What do we do about this? Like, teens and tweens loved these movies, and it kind of ruined it for the rest of us.
Well, because anything you make now has to at least acknowledge that exists on some level, right? So you have to either, I don't know. It didn't it didn't do good things for the franchise.
So it's not just me. It feels like there hasn't been a good vampire movie since those movies came out.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to check the dates on my list because I actually don't remember now where some of these came out. But I think most of the things on my list are pre-Twilight for sure.
Because I'm looking at all the ones on my list too, because I list all the years on mine, and I think 2011, 2012 are like some of the newest ones on my list. And that's sad. That's almost 10 years.
You know what? But that's good. I think that maybe it is time. Maybe enough time has passed where we're ready to erase the stink of Twilight.
Yeah. Erase the stink of Twilight. I'm going to get t-shirts made up with that.
Sign petitions.
Yeah, get petitions out there, and let's get some of these directors to work.
Robert Pattinson has done some incredible stuff since then, though. So he did a great job of like making that the bottom of his resume, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's done some really cool indie films since then.
And like The Lighthouse was
so good.
A fantastic movie. I'm really
Did you see High Life or Good Time?
No, I haven't seen either one.
Both of those are wacky, weird, but he's incredible in them. The Rover.
I'm really looking forward to seeing him as Batman.
He looks amazing as Batman. I'm excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's nice to see him before he loses his cool because he doesn't have cool yet, you know? So like that one scene where he just goes in the trailer where he just goes a little too hard.
Yeah.
Like beating the hell out of the guy. Yeah. I'm excited for him. I wasn't, well, whatever.
Well, I mean, it's sad sometimes that when you do, like, for somebody who doesn't like the fact that he was in those movies, he did 5 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I get there's always money talks when it comes to things like that. And he was probably, I think, still getting established in a career. He wanted to establish himself as a bigger.
Well, the only thing he did before that was Harry Potter, right?
Harry Potter. Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with you. This was like
Cedric Diggory was the biggest role before that.
Yeah. What are you going to say no to, like, leading man status? You know?
Exactly. So I mean, I'm glad he's shaking that off.
Yeah.
And you're right. He's been an amazing actor since those movies.
Absolutely. He's doing great.
So, but let's dive into I almost said zombie genre. Speaking of the zombie genre, I'm just gonna put this out there now. I want to encourage listeners to stay till the very end of this podcast, which I hope they do anyway. Because as I mentioned at the top, you are a musician. You do a lot of pop culture related songs, which is one of the reasons you and I became friends, because I fell in love with the No More Kings music. It's not a vampire song, but it's a zombie song. It's one of my favorite songs off that album, called Zombie Me. You've already given me permission to use it. So I'm just going to put it out there now. All listeners out there, stay till the end, because that's going to play at the end of the podcast.
Oh my gosh. Awesome.
So everybody's going to get to hear your music by the end of this. And then at the end, we'll give them ways they can check it out.
Perfect.
And go check out other music, which I highly recommend. But let's get into the vampire genre. We're going to reveal our top 5s to one another, as well as some honorable mentions. But before we do that, as always, just to give you an idea of the format, neither Pete or myself has revealed any of our choices to each other beforehand, as not to influence each other. So I don't know any of his. He doesn't know any of mine. Also, just a fair warning, if you haven't seen one or multiple of the movies we mentioned, there's always a possibility of spoilers. So just be prepared for that. That said, let's dive into our top 5s. I'll start with you. What I always start with the guest. It's my good name.
Yeah, but that's scary, because what if I drastically misread the tone?
I told you, as long as you don't have Twilight, we're good. I don't think there's maybe The Littlest Vampire, that one with the kid from Jerry Maguire. My
girlfriend almost made me watch that again for that reason. She's like, when I told her what this topic was, she said that was her first one. Oh, are you gonna pick The Littlest Vampire? And I was like, I haven't seen that. She's like, movie night.
Maybe it is in the top 5 then.
It's not on my list.
I don't know. All right, but let's start with yours. What have you got for your number 5?
Okay, so I went a little weird with this first one. It's like a brand new movie. I saw it on a whim because it was on Netflix. I wouldn't normally. There's a couple that I left off my list that are classics that I'm sure are on your list, but I left off for that reason. I wanted to make my list about what was on my mind now, not necessarily for me best of all time, but just sort of like ones that surprised me.
I have a feeling I might know what movie you're talking about.
What do you think it is?
Can I take a guess?
Yeah.
Is there a television show based off this movie currently on television?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well, then it's not the movie I was thinking.
Oh, I'm curious what you thought it was.
I was thinking you were probably going to go, and this is one of my honorable mentions. It's not my top 5. I thought you were going to go with What We Do in the Shadows.
That's in my top 5.
Is it? Okay. Well,
yeah, that's in my top 5.
Okay, we'll save that for when you get to that one. But I digress. But continue with your number.
No, this one is it's a movie called Blood Red Sky.
I don't think I've heard of this one.
It's a foreign film. I don't remember if it's Norwegian or French, but the premise is this woman has a strange blood disorder, so we think, and she's taking a flight with her son to New York for treatment, and the flight gets hijacked by terrorists. And so she's not able to take her medicine to stop her from what we finally realize is becoming a vampire. Her blood disorder is that she's a vampire. And so she lets herself become a vampire so she can wipe out all these terrorists and save the day. It's really clever and interesting. The action is really fun. It gets a little cheesy at times, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
I'm reaching for my Wilhelm notepad because
nice.
I tend to write down movies that I haven't seen or heard of before, so I can go and watch them. That premise sounds familiar, so maybe I've heard of it and I just wasn't too familiar with it.
When I saw the trailer, it seemed almost too goofy. Like when to say that premise out loud, it sounds pretty goofy, but they handled it well. It's actually really. It's good.
And it's a foreign film, you said?
Yeah.
So foreign dubbed or foreign subtitled?
You know what? A lot of it is not dubbed because it's international. So there's a lot of English speaking characters in it. And I think it's dubbed. It's imperceptible if it is.
Okay. I'm going to have to check that.
Yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think off camera.
And you said it's available on Netflix?
Uh-huh.
And it's called Blood Red Sky. I'm adding that to my...
Snakes on a Plane with vampires.
Oh, that's amazing. You sold it. Right there on that. Right there. I mean, the only thing it would need at that point is Samuel L. Jackson talking
about he's not in it,
mother effing vampires on the mother effing plane.
These.
No, that's it. Okay, that's a good choice. And you've already piqued my interest on that one because, again, it's one I've never seen and I'm definitely going to check out.
Right on. All right, what's your 5? What's your number 5?
My number 5 is a little bit newer, but is also a remake. I went with the 2011 version of Fright Night.
Oh, wow. I haven't seen the remake.
I'm a fan of the original.
Me too.
But there's something about, maybe it's just the modernization of the story. And maybe it's also the cast. It's Anton Yelchin, who unfortunately passed away a number of years ago. Colin Farrell, David Tennant is amazing in the movie. One of the first things I saw him in outside of Doctor Who. Dave Franco, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, and Toni Collette. And Chris Sheridan actually is in the movie. He's not playing obviously the same. He's not playing Jerry because that's who he played in the 86 version.
Far too old for that.
Yeah, but it was great to see him appear.
That's fun. Yeah, that's fun that they let him. So it's there's a number of familiar faces in it. I think even Lisa Loeb is in the movie. But it's fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun for me. It's very reminiscent of the story of the original. So it's not too much of a break, but there's definitely some modernization to it. And I thought it was a blast. I like the original, but for some reason for me that the reboot kind of eked it out just a little bit. Very cool.
So that was my choice for number 5.
Nice.
Number 4. What have you got on your list?
I'm almost embarrassed about this one, but it was so much fun, and I wanted to put it in there. I went for Blade.
It's in my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
It is actually a really good movie.
I've actually been meaning to rewatch those.
The whole trilogy is not so bad. Everybody bagged on the third one, but there's a lot of really fun stuff, which is the one that opens with the nightclub raining down blood and he comes in. Is that number 2 or number 3?
I think that's 2.
2. The 2 is the best one, right?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. 2 is also Norman Reedus.
Oh.
Yeah. Norman Reedus is Blade's apprentice in that, the one that turns on him.
Gosh, yes. Holy crap. But he was like a little baby. He was so young.
Yeah. I think it was post Boondock Saints.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
pre obviously
pre-Walking Dead, but that makes sense.
Dead. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I need to watch those again, but I just remember them being really, really fun.
I've actually been meaning to rewatch those movies. They've been on my mind.
Aren't they remaking? They're remaking Blade, right?
They are remaking Blade. Yeah. He's
So
coming into the current MCU.
Which makes sense. That's crazy that they're going to have to admit that there's vampires in the MCU.
Yeah.
I mean, is Mobius a vampire? I guess
Mobius is a vampire.
So so I guess they already are.
But Mobius isn't a vampire in the traditional sense. His is a blood disorder,
right? That
turns him into a vampire
because of getting. Yeah, okay, right. So
Blade,
you didn't get it.
Blade is literally a night, like a night
daywalker,
a daywalker.
Oh, yeah. He's a hybrid. He's a muggle. No, he's not a muggle. What do they call the mudblood? The mix.
A mudblood. Yep.
He's a mudblood.
Yeah. Filthy mudblood.
What'd you get for number 4?
My number 4. Okay, like you said you were kind of embarrassed to have Blade in your top 5, which you shouldn't. It's
okay.
Again, they're great movies. I would have picked Blade 2 over Blade, but fair enough. This is one I feel like might be, out of all the ones on my list, this is probably the one I'm embarrassed about.
Okay.
I went with John Carpenter's Vampires.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
This is a movie from 1998 starring James Woods.
Was it that late?
And Daniel Baldwin. Yeah, this was
my memory of that is that it's much older.
This is my senior year of high school.
Oh, wow.
James Woods, Daniel Baldwin, and a certain person we were mentioning before we started recording, Terry Silver himself, Thomas Ian Griffin, is in the movie.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So it's a movie that, I mean, first off, I'm a huge fan of Carpenter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, I mean, going from obviously Halloween, but to also, I just rewatched Escape from LA the other night.
Oh, wow.
Which is a horribly cheesy movie.
Yeah, I need to see that again.
But I mean,
is that the sequel to Escape from New York, or is it the other way around? Okay, yeah.
That's the sequel. And there's so much camp in that movie. It's ridiculous.
God. But like, The Thing is probably the greatest horror movie of all time.
It's in my top 3.
Yeah.
Funny enough, horror movies is how we're wrapping up Spooktober this month.
Oh, good. Oh, just general horror movies. So
you might be
just spoiled. Your
listeners might have just heard one of my top 5.
Spoiled it.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, this was a movie that I found. I just found interesting for some reason, like the idea of like these actual vampire hunters that were hired that are literally bounty hunters for the Catholic Church.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because
like exorcists, but
yeah, the Catholic Church knows that vampires exist. These are the guys that the Catholic Church, like the Pope and the Vatican, hire to wipe them out.
That's really cool.
And it's just a fun concept. It's got some execution issues, but I still love the movie. It's been a number of years since I've seen it, but every time I watch it, I love it.
That was my problem with making this list. A lot of these are like fading memories for me. And I just remember the feeling, which is exactly like you said. I don't remember the specifics. I just remember going, that was fun. That was a lot of fun. So yeah. I remember Vampires for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun one. And it's one that I mean, it's been called Vampires, and it's also called John Carpenter's Vampires. It depends on which library.
Yeah, that's the official name.
Yeah. So, but that was my number 4.
Nice.
What have you got for number 3?
We already mentioned this one. This is What We Do in the Shadows for me, man. And it's definitely the movie, but now that I've seen the show and I'm caught up, I combine them together. They've created such a fun world there with both things existing, and they are in the same universe because those 3 vampires appear in the show. I don't know if are you watching the show? Oh God, yes. Yeah, it's so good. I wanted to hate it because I didn't know how involved Jermaine Clement was. So when I saw that it was an American version, I immediately thought it was like what we did with The Office, and I was just like, come on, guys, like really? And the trailers didn't do it any justice. But then when you watch the show and you actually realize that these are fully fleshed out characters, no pun intended, completely different from Vladislav and Iago and Deacon, completely different, their own, and they're so much fun, and the chemistry that they have together. And I cannot stop talking like Nandor. I cannot stop talking like him. I'm always like, Guillermo, come and fetch me my Coca-Cola. It's a bad.
The creepy paper.
It's creepy. No, it's creepy.
It's creepy paper. Oh my God. And it's that show, not to get away from the movie, because I agree. The movie is in my
Movie is so
it's
good.
the first of my honorable mentions.
Oh,
Because
cool.
it was so close to being
Yeah.
in my top 5.
I wanted to not go comedy with some of these, but that was a hard one to not put in.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
so good.
And it's like I've grown so much love for Taika.
Yeah.
Even ever since What We Do in the Shadows. I mean,
That might have been my first one that I saw of him, and then I saw Boy. I didn't even see Wildebeest, but then obviously Ragnarok. So yeah, I think Taika, but that was my first exposure to Taika was What We Do in the Shadows.
I think that was my first exposure to him as well.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that, and I've actually had one of the cast members of that movie on my other podcast, The Spotlight. I had not Andy Daly. Oh God, now I can't remember his name, but he plays one of the werewolves in the show. And I was really
not Rhys
excited.
Darby, one of the other werewolves.
Rhys Darby, that's who it was.
Rhys Darby. Oh my
Yes.
God, I love Rhys Darby so much.
I had Rhys on the podcast, and I was so excited to get to talk to him about What We Do in the Shadows. And
oh my God, Flight of the Conchords.
And Flight of the Oh my God, Flight of the Conchords is just. I every once in a while I just break out into business time, and it's from Flight of the Conchords. It's so. I love that.
Weren't they supposed to make a Swearwolves movie, or no? Am I wrong about that? I thought they were supposed to make a sort of sequel to What We Do in the Shadows with featuring the Swearwolves. But I guess not.
That would be amazing if they did.
Oh my gosh, perfect.
But I mean, yeah, you're right. Like the show is very fleshed out. Mm-hmm. These characters are completely on their own. And that episode in season 1 that you mentioned, where Jermaine and Taika appear, and it's the council.
Yeah, it's the greatest cameo. Speaking of Blade.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
So a funny story about that episode. I don't know if you know this or not, but there's a backstory to that scene. Because Evan Rachel Wood is there.
Yeah. Which I didn't understand why she was a vampire. I must have missed what she was a vampire in.
I think she's in True Blood.
Is she in True Blood?
I think she was in True Blood. Okay. But Paul Rubens, Danny Trejo, all these people that played vampires and other things. And then when they mention all those other people that weren't there, so when they mentioned Tom and Brad, and they're like, they weren't interested. And then they mentioned Kiefer, and there's like, he wanted to be here. That's all true.
Are you serious?
They reached out to every one of those guys. Tom and Brad turned them down. Kiefer wanted to do it, but was unavailable.
God.
So they put that in the episode.
So that is real. That's real. Responses. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Those are the real responses as to why they weren't in that episode.
So it works in both. It works in fiction and it works for real.
Yep.
Because the vampires would have said that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I remember that was my first foray into Taika as well. And I remember watching, having a friend of mine recommend What We Do in the Shadows to me. And I watched the trailer. I'm like, I don't know.
It was very low budget and weird, and
then I just watched it, and at the end of it, I was like I love that.
Yeah, I wanted more immediately. I wanted more,
and then I got so excited when the show got announced. And
did you see on the DVD of What We Do in the Shadows? There's the original short film version of it. Have you seen that?
I have not.
You should see that. It's a lot of the same jokes, but it's totally no effects. It's just it's like a 15-minute short. But the one part that stands out to me is where they got the title. So the television crew is filming Vladislav, and he's like, what do we go shopping in the shadows, we do our laundry in the shadows,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's good.
And I know, like you mentioned, just to wrap up that, not to go too far off on just tangents on What We Do in the Shadows, but to jump back to the show, like you said, you keep talking like Nandor. Ever since a couple episodes ago, every once in a while, I will just break out into Viva Atlantic City from the casino
episode.
Because it's,
oh my God,
that show is so good. It's so wonderful.
So good. I'm like, I don't know if I would call them friends, but I'm like in contact with Doug Jones on Twitter.
Really?
And, yeah, it's fun.
He's on my list to get on the podcast.
I didn't know he was going to be in the show. As the count, I guess.
What? The Baron. Yes.
Yeah. He was so freaking good. He's ridiculously good. And for once he gets to talk. He's always great, but he doesn't usually get to use his own voice.
True.
So it was exciting to see that he, because he's a really comic, great comic timing, just really funny. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Anyway.
actually on my list to get on my other podcast.
Yeah.
So I hope
Oh my
I do.
God,
I hope I'm able to get him on.
Yeah, do it.
I guess that brings me to my number 3. My number 3 is a little bit of a cheat.
Okay.
There are vampire. There is a vampire in it.
Intriguing.
But there are other monsters in it as well.
Okay.
My number 3 is a little movie that I grew up with called The Monster Squad.
Yep. Kick him in the nards. Wolfman's got nards.
Wolfman's got nards.
Yep.
It's a movie that has it has stuck with me. I mean, I was 8 years old when that movie came out.
Yep.
And it has stuck.
How old
with
were the
me.
characters? Like 13 or 11?
Yeah.
It was like a Goonies for monsters.
It was the Universal Monsters meets the Goonies.
Yeah, totally. So like you were the perfect age for like devouring that.
And I'm
a little older.
I still break that out every once in a while and watch it. There is a fantastic documentary on the film called Wolfman's Got Nards.
Oh my God. What a great
that if you've never seen it, I highly
I have not. I need to. I need to watch the movie again first. But
God, the movie is so good. It's so good. But yeah, like I felt like it's Dracula, but I was like I had to include it because anytime somebody mentions Dracula, you could go to Bram Stoker, you could go to Bela Lugosi. I go to Ruger and his portrayal of in a Monster Squad because that's what I grew up with as my Dracula.
Right. That was your first on-screen Dracula, right?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
That's my pick, and I had to include it in my top 5.
Hell yeah!
For that point alone.
I applaud you.
Thank you, sir. Number 2.
We're already up to number 2. Jeez.
I think because What We Do in the Shadows was your number 3, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So I went with 30 Days of Night for number 2.
It's a good choice
because it's just so clever. Like what a great, if you're going to make a vampire movie, make it about the one place, where it's night for a long time. And like, what would vampires do if they had access to a place like that? The town is totally cut off. Like just the premise alone, I think is fantastic. And I think it holds up. Like I watched it recently and it holds up. They did a great job.
And that's what I picture when I picture vampires. Like I don't picture sparkly guys out in the sun.
Oh yeah. Feral, like Middle Eastern. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the purest form. I mean, obviously there's the Dracula Interview with the Vampire, like kind of.
Sure. Yeah. That's a little more sophisticated, but I think, I agree with you. The 30 Days of Night vampire, this like old world, like Hungarian kind of like, you know what I mean? Like stuff of mythology, the stuff that like you can understand why monsters stories would be spread about these things, you know?
So like I've been rewatching. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I just wrapped up rewatching all 7 seasons of Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, wow.
I went back and I revisited that because I'm actually going to be having John Kazar, who's the voice of the Crypt Keeper, on the spotlight. He's going to be coming on the spotlight.
You get great guests, man. Great guests.
Well, you're in the list of guests too. So these are.
I'm no Crypt Keeper.
Well, come on.
Yeah, that guy's like
But there was an episode where there was an episode where there were vampires and there was a guy hiding out from vampires, and he literally got away from all these vampires and boarded himself up in a room and said, all I have to do is sleep until the morning and then I can escape, without realizing he was in Alaska and morning never comes.
Wow.
And I thought about it and I'm like, I wonder if maybe this is where they got the premise for
that would have been way before it, right?
It was back in the 80s. So I'm wondering, maybe there was already subject material written that's 30 Days of Night is based off of, and maybe Tales from the Crypt
novel, right? But it'd be interesting to see. Be interesting to see if they saw that episode too, and we're like, whoa, let's make a whole thing about that.
Yeah, because it would be an interesting premise. Like, okay, let's take this premise and let's ramp it up,
right? And
let's make a movie about it,
right?
Because I would watch it, and I did watch it.
Yeah, I watched it. I loved it.
Yeah,
ended up
Was there a sequel to 30 Days of Night? I can't remember. I want to say
not an official one. I think there was a animated. It was something else. There was some other. It was 30 Days of Night : some other thing, and I don't think it had anything to do with it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of the movie Daywalkers. I think there was a sequel. There was either a sequel to
That's
that
in my
or
honorable
that
mentions.
was the sequel.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. Can't remember at all.
That makes sense.
My number 2, we actually mentioned the actor in when we were talking about that episode of What We Do in the Shadows with the Council with Kiefer.
This should have been top 2 for me too. But like I said, I wanted to go not classic stuff. I wanted to go new. But what you're about to say is
number
jam.
2. I went with The Lost Boys.
Hell yeah, you did, because that's
that to me is probably it is the epitome of good vampire movies.
Yeah.
It's literally coming of age vampires.
I know, right?
Which is such an interesting concept.
Yeah.
But
also it's like them being the cool club, like the cool gang.
Yeah.
You know? And like the bully, it's so interesting. What an interesting idea to make a John Hughes, but not a comedy version, but almost like, this coming of age high school clique, very like,
like this, that like Lost Boys to me is what the Twilight creator wanted to make a girly version of.
Totally. You're 100% right.
It's
and they
vampires
just got
in high
everything
school.
wrong. Yeah, but they got everything wrong. It's like they almost didn't watch Lost Boys.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, again, you talk about like a great cast. You had obviously Kiefer, Jason Patrick, Corey Haim Corey Haim and Corey Feldman, I think, are both. Feldman's not in it. Just Corey Haim, I think.
I don't remember now.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched it.
I feel like
Corey Feldman is in it. He's in
they're both in it.
Yeah, they're both in it.
I conflate that and a Fright Night sometimes. In my memories. So
and Alex Winter from Bill and Ted.
Oh yeah, from Bill and Ted, and
also Jamie Gertz in it as well.
Jamie Gertz.
But putting aside the vampire aspect of it, which is very hard to do because that's the best part of the movie. That movie's The Lost Boys has actually been brought up in an earlier episode of Wilhelm when we talked about movies with the best soundtrack. Oh, because the soundtrack to that movie is phenomenal.
I actually don't remember the soundtrack.
It's so good. But there was
80s, very
when I was putting together my top 5, my 1 and 2 were 2 that were unaltered. They were like, here's my 1, here's my 2. I have to figure out what 3, 4, and 5.
Yikes! Wow.
So number 1 is like, there's no doubt in my mind. It is again, like we're talking our personal favorites.
Yeah.
So these might not necessarily be the greatest vampire movies.
Right.
These are what we qualify as our favorite ones. So the ones that have some meaning to us or stuck with us, it is, what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lost Boys is an honorable mention for me for only because it should have been number 2. It would have been number 2, but only because I went with this like different idea of like, what's recent and what's on my mind now? What surprised me? I tried to move away from like, but come on, that's classic. Lost Boys is like, for all the reasons you just said, is perfect.
It's one of those ones that like I like to watch often, but not so often that the movie like loses some of its luster.
Sure.
Like it's not like people who watch like A Christmas Story for 24 hours straight on TNT. Right. Like,
just to get them in the mood.
I refuse to watch A Christmas Story for 24 hours on TNT because it ruins the movie for me.
Oh yeah, no, for me that's a one watch each year.
Yep, exactly. Same thing with Elf, which USA is running 24 hours now.
Mm-hmm.
Like every 3 or 4 years, I'll watch Lost Boys.
Right
in October.
Oh wow,
because I want to be reminded of it. I don't want to lose my love for the movie, but I don't. By watching it too much.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to get sick of it.
I'm really excited that we've gone through our numbers 2 through 5 and we haven't had any repeats.
Yeah, no overlap, right?
Which is always a good sign. And I don't think our number 1s are going to overlap either.
Sounds like that. I think your number 1's going to be in my honorable mentions.
And yours might be in mine. So that said, what have you got for your number 1? All
right, you ready for this?
Sure.
I put Let the Right One In.
It's one I haven't seen.
Then you got to check it out. It's so good. It's so good. It's like ridiculously good.
It is on my list And it's relatively newer, isn't it? Like last decade?
Yeah, and I think that's why I couldn't remember when we were talking about whether it predated or postdated Twilight. I think it might actually be since Twilight, but I could be wrong about it. But it's Swedish, so I think it gets a pass, not being affected by our crappy version here. Yeah. Remake. I put the remake in my. I'm giving away all my honorable mentions, but
no, that's fine.
It's one of the few movies where, like, when I heard they were making a remake, I was like, why? It's so perfect. But then you see the remake, you're like, okay, this is really well done, and it's different enough, and it's an American version. I'm okay with it. So either one, if you watch either one of them, you're going to be happy. But it's such a great story, really great story.
I'm adding it to my list so I can bump it up my queue and check it out, especially now for October. Like, now's the time I love watching movies like this.
Mm-hmm. So, this is such a good October movie for sure.
That's the one I'm gonna have to make sure I watch it sometime in the next week or two, to get it in there and check it out. Especially if it's your number one. Like, I'm like, okay,
dude, and I stand by that. Even looking now at my other ones, I stand by it. It's that good.
Yeah, good. And that's how I feel about my number one. Like, my number one's like, yeah, that's the one I stand by. This is my favorite vampire movie.
All right, bring it on. What is it?
All right, my number one is. My number one kind of has some lore to it, like Hollywood lore to it, that I remember happening, but everywhere I look online, I can't seem to find it having any truth to it.
What?
So my number one, I went with From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh my goodness, of course.
It is an amazing vampire movie.
Yes.
Quentin Tarantino, written and directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Yep.
So and you can tell when you watch it, like, yeah, this is Rodriguez. Quentin Tarantino, George Clooney, Juliette Lewis, like, the cast is
Harvey Keitel,
Tom Savini, Cheech
Marin, yeah.
Danny Trejo, which is what we get from the council.
That's why he's in the council, yeah.
Yep. Selma Hayek, as Santanico Pandemonium.
Yep.
Michael Parks, Kelly Preston, like, the cast is just
it's crazy.
Is great. But the lore behind it. See, so I remember this being true. And again, I can't seem to find any truth to it online. Maybe I've just heard it so much and have told so many other people about it that I've just convinced myself it's true. But the lore about it, I remember, is that when the movie first released, like when the trailers came out before the movie released, it didn't show any vampires in the movie.
You know why I believe that? Because the reason I like this movie is it's two movies. It's actually two movies.
Yes.
In the first part, it's this incredible story of these brothers where one of them is a homicidal maniac but doesn't want to be. And George Clooney has to, like, just deal with the fact that his brother's this maniac, and it's this road trip kind of like heist hideout.
It's two brothers on the run from the law.
Yeah. And it's perfect. And so you're right. If that's the trailer and you don't see the second half of the movie coming, you're going to be blown away when that happens, because you're not going to know what you just stepped into.
Yeah, exactly. And I for some reason, like, I remember the lore being that the first trailers before the movie released came out showed no vampires, and people did not know it was a vampire movie until they were sitting in the theater watching. That's brilliant. And it's a full hour in before you even get the first sense of that, right? And that's something like I totally believe Tarantino and Rodriguez would do. Totally. Like, that's in their repertoire. Like, that's something they would do. But for the life of me, I can't find any truth to that online. So I don't know if it's believe it buried or if it just wasn't true. I want to believe it's true because it makes me love that movie even more. Oh, sure. So, but I mean, it's gory. It's visceral. It's funny. I mean, where else are you going to get Tom Savini, who's an amazing makeup artist? And I've met the man. He's fantastic. Tom Savini having a pistol on his junk. Yeah. Like, and then I also read, in researching the movie, speaking of, like I said, with Monster Squad, there's a documentary about the making of From Dusk Till Dawn called Full Tilt Boogie. And it's basically behind the scenes. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen it. It's amazing. It's as long as From Dusk Till Dawn. It is, but it's as entertaining too. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. They had to blow up the kitty twister. They changed the name for the Well, it actually the outer part of it that they built for the movie actually burned down at one point, and it delayed the movie.
They had to build the facade again, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah. Crazy.
But I also learned, I don't know if it was from Full Tilt Boogie or if it was from just behind the scenes stuff. Tom Savini's character, Sex Machine, when he breaks out the whip and starts whipping like heads off of vampires, that is a complete homage to Castlevania.
Oh my gosh.
That's
I thought it was
Belmont.
Batman Returns.
Yeah. No, that's Belmont from Castlevania.
That's
from the
amazing.
Castlevania games.
That's amazing.
So again,
that makes sense. That's a vampire game. Yeah.
Yeah. So this has just been a movie that is, again, it's stuck with me ever since I saw it.
Totally.
I think I was relatively young. No, I was probably about 16 when that movie came out.
Yeah.
So old enough to see it.
Yeah.
And appreciate it.
But that's the perfect age because that's kind of who it was made for. 16, 17-year-olds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
High school kids being like, this is a blast.
Yeah. But you're absolutely right. Like the first hour of that movie is a completely different movie.
Completely different film. And I actually like that half of the movie better, if I'm being honest, just because it's so intriguing. Like the what if you play in your head of like, what would I do if I had a brother like this? Like you love him as a brother, but he's like straight up crazy, killing people. Like you can't be trusted. You can't leave him alone, you know?
Well, that's where, so, I mean, it's directed by Robert Rodriguez, but it's written and directed by Rodriguez and Tarantino.
Right.
Tarantino,
and you can kind of tell where it gets split, you know?
Yeah, because Tarantino actually was going to direct it, but he backed off because he wanted to concentrate on playing Seth Gecko. But you're right. Like that first part of the movie has such a tonal difference that feels more like Tarantino.
That's like a Tarantino movie. And the second half is full on Rodriguez. And I honestly can't see it any other way because once it becomes crazy madhouse vampire town, I don't know that Tarantino would have done that well. No, you know what I mean? But Rodriguez is born to do that craziness.
Yeah. And that's why exactly, like, I don't know if you've ever seen Grindhouse.
Yeah, I have. Same thing. Like the two films could not have been more different for that same reason.
It was Death Proof, which was more grounded and
then Planet Terror was just off the rails, crazy Rodriguez.
Yep, exactly. And one was Tarantino and one was Rodriguez, and they worked out. So yeah, that was that. When I put together my top 5, my number 1 and number 2 were instantaneous. I knew what movies were going in those.
That's awesome.
So those are great lists, and I'm like actually really excited. We had no overlap at all.
That's crazy. I really thought we would have. And I'm actually surprised that neither of us put Interview. Obviously, it's in my honorable mentions.
It's in my honorable mentions as well.
Just because it's like the de facto vampire film, which is the reason I left it off the list, because I almost felt like it was too obvious to put on the list. It's like,
well, I kind of feel like I feel like Interview kind of changed the genre, because before that it was like these vampires were either these monstrous or stalking characters,
right? And to make them these sophisticated, worldly, like tortured, and souls almost.
And it opened up the genre because after Interview with the Vampire, no, actually, Buffy the Vampire Slayer came before Interview with the Vampire. But still, like we got these more, like you said, sophisticated class, like they could exist in high class and not be revealed to be what they are.
Which to me is really fascinating. And that's way more interesting than like the gorier, goofier ways of doing it. You know, like I feel like what a cool idea that you have this vampire who literally has to like eat the blood of humans, you know, like, but has to also exist. And then probably like has to move every 20 years because people start to realize that they haven't aged. And like, what an interesting way to live a life. So humanizing, which is what Interview with a Vampire does, humanizing that character, less of a monster and more of a person with this affliction, you know.
But it gave vampires a new power, and that was influence.
Yeah.
Like they weren't just like bloodsuckers and like they had strength and everything. It was like they now had power, like power of influence. Yeah, because they were part of society.
Absolutely.
And it gave a whole new element to the vampire genre. So it was tough. It's my number 2 on my honorable mentions because it came very close to being in the top 5.
Yep. Yeah, it's my first honorable mention for sure.
What other honorable mentions do you have on your list? I know I have
We've covered them, a lot of them. You definitely do. And we've covered a lot of mine already. So Interview, obviously, Daywalkers, I thought was super fun. Again, I talked about Daywalkers the way you talked about John Carpenter's Vampires. Not a perfect film, flawed, absolutely, but a fun idea and still some fun enough moments where it's worth watching. Plus, it's just fun to see Ethan Hawke. I'll watch him in anything. And I put Underworld, the Underworld series, because I just needed something to do werewolves versus vampires better than Twilight did. I just needed something that handled that better than Twilight.
And it was also before Twilight too, which
and it was before Twilight.
Definitely.
Plus,
helped.
Kate Beckinsale is gorgeous. So
agreed. And Reese. I can't remember his name now. The master vampire from the Underworld series. He's been in a bunch of other stuff. Oh well, I can't remember. My listeners will let me know. Yeah, no, it's Bill Nye. Yeah, not Bill Nye the Science Guy, but Bill Nye the actor. Yeah. NYE.
Yeah,
Bill Nye.
He's amazing.
Oh, he's so good.
He's perfect in that.
We've mentioned a bunch of my honorable mentions as well. But I want to just make mention, obviously, the original 1931 Dracula with Bela Lugosi is a classic, as well as Bram Stoker in 1992.
What about White Zombie? We count that?
I've never seen
maybe the very first silent film.
I've never seen White Zombie.
It's it's hard to watch because it's slow and goofy, but it's the first. It's like Nosferatu.
Nosferatu is another one that I didn't put on my honorable mentions, but probably should be.
Probably
should be in there.
Yeah, those are like, you need those to make the ones we put, but the ones we put are more fun.
That's why they ended up on our list.
Yeah, exactly.
This is one that's kind of, some people consider it a vampire movie, some people don't. I put I Am Legend in my honorable mentions.
Oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Because they are vampires. I mean, they can't go out in the sun. They're not blood suckers. More so in the what do you call it? The Charles Heston one. Omega Man.
Omega Man. Yeah. More so in that, they're more vampire-y because they're more humanoid in that, and they can talk. But I think that counts. I mean, because they're vampires in a sense. Yeah. So I went with I Am Legend. Near Dark with Bill Paxton. I don't remember that one.
It's got a little bit of a comedic element to it, but it's he basically gets caught up with a bunch of like traveling vampires and ends up becoming one in it. Salem's Lot from 1979.
Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't put that on my list. That one's great. Do you have Once Bitten on your list?
I do have Once Bitten in my honorable mentions. Jim Carrey. I mean, I think that's one of the earliest Jim Carrey movies I remember.
It might be.
That or Earth Girls Are Easy. One of the two of them.
Was he in that? I don't remember him being in that.
Yeah, him, Damon Wayans, and Jeff Goldblum.
Oh my gosh.
Were the three aliens with
I need a Jeff Goldblum vampire film.
Oh my God.
Well, I need to bite your neck. If I could just grab a little nibble here. Oh, yes, thank you.
The blood finds a way. That's a horrible Goldblum. Three more movies on my list. I put Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Oh God.
Because
Leslie Nielsen
is a vampire is just
gold.
Fantastic. It's a horrible movie, but I kind of loved it because I read the book, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
Oh, I love that one too. It's so fun and silly.
It's just a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
And then my last one of my honorable mentions, I kept on my honorable mentions because it's a very lesser known vampire movie.
Okay.
Relatively new, 2013, so last decade. And it's kind of a plug for my Spotlight podcast again, because the two men that wrote and directed this movie, I had them on the Spotlight. I was actually the first person to ever interview them about the movie.
Whoa.
So they had never done an interview before my podcast before.
Oh my gosh.
So they were really nervous and new to it.
Oh, wow.
But it's a movie called Afflicted.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you?
It's amazing. So that was very first person cam.
Yes.
It was a stunt movie for the most part.
Yes.
It was And
it was more about, like, I think it was like a guy, like there was two friends traveling.
And one gets Yeah, totally.
And one gets bitten and slowly starts the process of becoming a vampire.
And it's cool because it's first person. Well, not the whole thing is, but because a lot of it is first person, you see them getting their powers and being able to jump really high and climb walls and do all this crazy stuff. No, I love that movie.
Yeah, it's really well done. Because I remember they sent us a screener of the movie before it was released so that we could watch it before we had them on. And I remember it'd be
so fun to have those guys on. They must have had a lot of interesting stories that look like a lot of fun to film.
Yeah. And I remember watching that movie and be like, this movie's amazing. I can't wait to talk to these guys. And then we found out during the interview that was their first interview.
Wow. That's crazy.
And they were sitting in
their first film, right?
Yeah. It was their first film they ever wrote, they ever directed. And they were just great guys to have on and talk about movies. And, those guys being as green as they were in the entertainment industry. So it was great. But that's one I recommend to a lot of people. And you can attest to it too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great movie.
I'm actually surprised I didn't put that on I actually forgot about that.
I'm excited that you saw it.
Oh yeah. No, it's great.
Actually, I'm not surprised. You and I share so many.
I have a hard time, Ben, finding movies I haven't seen, to be honest. When I turn Netflix on, I'm like, I've seen it all.
Do you know, I thought the same thing until I started this podcast.
And there's a lot of movies out there.
And now there's a bunch of movies that come up where I'm like, I've never seen that. I've never seen that. The list of movies I need to watch from just the first 17, 18 episodes of this podcast is already.
That's the cool thing about having such a wide variety of guests is they're gonna bring different stuff to the table.
And the great thing about the format of this podcast too is that you and I are doing a vampire episode, but I could do another vampire episode 2 years from now.
Vastly different answers from somebody else. Yeah.
And get different answers from somebody else. And my answers might even change.
Absolutely.
At that point.
Yep. Absolutely.
So I could revisit episodes,
subject matter. Yeah.
A bunch of times and always get a different set of circumstances every time.
Oh my gosh. Totally.
And I love it. But those were some great choices for top fives and honorable mentions. I'm so happy we didn't have any overlap.
That's crazy.
Top five, but with so many vampire movies out there, it was going to be unlikely we had any.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about your projects before we start getting ready to get out of here.
Right on.
What have you got going on? I like, as I mentioned, we're going to play Zombie Me at the end of the podcast.
Nice.
So people can hear it, but obviously before they hear it, I want them to hear from you where they can check out your music, any projects you've got coming up. Your art is fantastic. So just put it all out there.
Right on. Well, I'm Das Petey, DASPETEY, pretty much everywhere. So Das Petey on Instagram,
even on Zoom,
YouTube, on Zoom. I'm Das Petey right here. Yeah, exactly.
Well, so
that's the easiest thing is just type that into Google and check all that stuff out. As far as No More Kings, I just helped Neil with Neil's my writing partner on No More Kings, the other half of the band, on a project. He's got a band with his wife called Dirt Pro Robbins, which makes incredible music. I don't know. Have you heard much of their stuff?
I don't think I have.
Check it out. It's very epic, cinematic. People compare it to Evanescence, but it's just
I'm already in.
Yeah, really just tremendous musicianship from he and his wife. Anyway, they're doing their new album. They're releasing it as an episodic silent film, like a hour long silent film that comes out in parts. And so he's having me do the effects and the compositing and that kind of stuff for it. So I flew out and hung out with him in Kentucky. Anyway, while we were there, we ended up writing 3 new No More Kings songs.
Ooh,
yeah,
excited.
And so we got some new stuff in the works, and it was one of those things where I hadn't realized, because I hadn't thought about it, how long it's been since our last album. It's been 7 years. So it's time for another album.
It's always time for more No More Kings.
It's always time for more No More Kings. Yeah. And then I've just been doing a lot of solo stuff, which is pretty different from the No More Kings stuff. But I really dig it because it's the first time, I always kind of just assumed that I was going to need to work with other producers. I would never be able to produce my own stuff. And just on a lark, I decided to just try it, just try tackling that. And I'm really proud of the stuff that I put out. I put out an album recently. I don't know if we had a chance to talk about it.
We did. Measured 100weight. And
that was the last time
album's fantastic.
Thanks, man. Yeah. So that was the first album I produced on my own, and I'm just really psyched about it. So I've been following that up with some other, moody, atmospheric kind of stuff in that same vein. And I'm just finishing up now a cover album of a bunch of 80s covers.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Because what was the was it Musings on Mars?
Oh yeah,
with a couple
Bill.
of the covers. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that was I think that's what gave me the idea to do a sort of an acoustic, more guitar-based acoustic album of that same kind of vibe. But yeah, Musings on Mars was all jazz piano covers of for the most part.
Land Down Under and
My
Break My
gosh,
Stride.
yes.
And
Whitney Houston,
Shake Your Body, and
Michael Jackson.
You Make My Dreams Come True.
Yeah, that's a fun.
Trust me, album. like it's not just blowing smoke. Like I've been a fan of, like, we're friends, but like I've been a fan of the music for your music is how we became friends.
Right. That's how we met. Exactly. Back in Philly.
And everything from, like, I have every No More King song and every one of your solo songs. They're all in my playlist. And I always get excited, like, when they come up. Just like 2 days ago, I had Jump In.
Oh, nice.
From No More Kings. And oh
my gosh,
I always sing along.
I love the video to that song.
Yeah. It's so good.
Man, I think the coolest thing, just quick tangent about No More Kings for me is the fact that I've made so many friends over the years purely because of the music of people like you who I met through interviewing or just different people that I met because of the music that I've made and that I'm still friends with, these decade later. That's the craziest thing. I never would have guessed that getting into that in the first place, that making these albums would bring me so many new friends.
Well, to name drop for you, Billy Zabka.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool one.
For any of my listeners that don't know or haven't looked you up by now, I know some of my listeners know because I belong to a Facebook group online of a bunch of people that watch Walking Dead and Cobra Kai and everything. And I always bring you up about, like, Sweep the Leg, and when we're talking about Cobra Kai. But for anybody that doesn't know, they can look up the song No More King, Sweep the Leg.
Oh yeah. If you type Sweep the Leg into Google, it'll be the top thing.
It's the song that you wrote. It's how I think that's the album that when I first met you.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we were touring. Yeah.
But the music video has pretty much, with the exception of Pat Morita, almost the entire, and Elizabeth Shue. Yeah. Pretty much almost the entire cast of the Karate Kid in that music video.
Yeah.
Machio, Zabka.
15 years before Cobra Kai.
Yeah. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, I think No More Kings kind of planted the idea of Cobra.
It's funny. I've seen enough interviews now, and like no one's officially saying that, and I love it because it's true. All that does to me is prove that other people were thinking the same thing I was thinking, which is there's more to this story. There's more to the Karate Kid that we want to do. Mm-hmm. So the creators of Cobra Kai, just like me, were just huge fans that were also thinking the same thing. But I love that there's this, at the time anyway, there's this zeitgeist of, like, we want more from Johnny. We want more about that guy's story. So it's to me, there's no coincidence. It's like the original movie was set up so well, and that ending for you to realize that he wasn't the bad guy, but Sensei Kreese was the one whispering in his ear. You know what I mean? Like the angle that I took in Sweep the Leg, the fact that Cobra Kai, the show, has that same premise. It's like there's something there. There's something about that film that led us to all collectively on our own think that. You know what I mean? Like think that we need more of Johnny's story.
Martin Kove was in the video with you guys too.
He is. Yeah.
Yep. It's so weird to think about him on Dancing with the Stars right now.
Oh my gosh. I haven't watched it, but yeah, he's another one. I wouldn't say we're as friends. Like Billy is definitely a friend. Martin was like, I was glad I met him, and we stayed in contact a little bit. He and his kids came to a couple of my No More King shows back in the day, but I still follow him, and like I saw him at Comic-Con a couple of years ago, and he was like, so like like I said, we're not friends the way Billy and I are, but we still, like, anytime we're in the same place, like he remembers me. And so that's always kind of fun. So the fact that he's like going to be on this show is pretty exciting. It's like, I'm already rooting for him. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man, you can do it.
Yeah. I forget. Whoa, what did I see? Oh, I think it was an episode of the Goldbergs that Martin Kove was on.
Oh, wow.
And it was the kid that plays Adam Goldberg when he's younger ended up, it was like one of like the scenes that plays when the end credits are rolling. Mm-hmm. And it's him taking karate lessons, and Martin Kove is the sensei, but he's not like the Martin Kove from Cobra Kai. He's the love is accepted in this dojo. Like he's the complete total opposite.
Well, that's true in real life. So after Sweep the Leg, he and I started talking, and at the time he was traveling, going to high schools and giving seminars on anti-bullying. He was like doing an anti-bullying campaign at the time. So again, he's like, that cast could not be further, with the exception of Ralph Macchio. He's pretty much Daniel's son. He's just a sweet, cool guy. But Billy is like the funniest, sweetest guy ever. Nothing like Johnny. And Martin is a sweetheart. Nothing like Sensei Kreese. So yeah, these guys, they're playing like such interesting opposites of themselves.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm really excited that No More Kings isn't gone and that you've got some more stuff in the works.
Yeah.
And because your solo stuff is amazing, and the No More King stuff is fantastic. So it's any way you look at it, it's just, I'm excited.
Yeah, I didn't want to let that go. I just felt like they're both two halves of me, like I'd still want to be able to do the stuff that I did with No More Kings. And that stuff doesn't feel right coming out with my solo stuff being so different. So I will always need to, so I'll just go, an NMK album and a PD album, an NMK album and a PD album.
Hey, and if No More Kings ever tour again and you happen to come out this way,
heck yeah.
I will not say no to getting called up on stage to sing a No More King song. I'm just putting it out there.
That's awesome. What would be your go-to song?
That's a good question.
If you were called up on stage with the full band backing you, what would you pick?
Oh man. Jump In's just a fun song to sing. Sweep the Legs a go-to, obviously. I've said this to you before, and it's not a song I think getting called up on stage to sing along with, but like one of my favorite songs that you've ever done on the album is this.
Yeah.
And it's an original piece.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Well, they're all
based on any. No, but it's not based on any pop culture reference. It's not based on a movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it was, it was the same thing with Someday too.
Yeah.
Like Someday wasn't based on any, I had a couple pop culture references in it.
Umbrella also. Like these are more like, those are the 3 songs on that album that were just kind of me, like talking about what was important to me at the time,
Yeah. That's a good question. I'd have to put some thought into it. See, I throw something out there and then I don't even have an answer behind it. Like
you've got plenty of time to think about it. It'll be a while before we can tour again.
Maybe Dance Alone.
If ever. Maybe Dance Alone. A good one. That's a good one for a live situation.
That might be fun.
With the horns, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
But hopefully one day we'll get to see No More Kings on tour.
Yeah, man.
And
I'd like that. I miss it.
And if not, hopefully we'll get to see it at some cons or something soon.
Yeah.
It's fun to talk to you on Zoom, but it'd be great to see you in person.
It's better in person. Yeah. Absolutely.
So social media, everything's at Das PD.
Das PD. That's like the one stop.
What's your artwork? Like what have you been doing with the artwork?
So yeah, just I've got this Etsy shop where I try to sell whatever I can. I'm trying to I just reorganized my own daspd.com site to showcase projects a little bit better. So if you check that out, there's a bunch of different projects that you can dive into. Dude, Ben, what I've been doing lately is kind of crazy. So I've really been getting into artificial intelligence and machine learning as it applies to art. So I've trained neural networks on all of my artwork and then asked it to create new artwork based on that stuff. And the stuff it comes up with is nightmarish and weird. So then I'll take that stuff, redo it in my style, send it back to the thing. And so I end up, I'm like collaborating with robots now. And it's really interesting to me, that weird feedback loop that happens when you like train something on your own stuff. You do find interesting ways to do stuff like that, because like, well, and I don't mean that in like a weird joking way. Like I've never heard of that being done before. I don't think you've done it for a little while now, but you were doing videos on Facebook of you trying different like electronic instruments. Oh yeah. Sounds and just to see what would spark ideas. Yeah, like that stuff was really cool. So hearing like creating art with artificial intelligence is like, that's like, I don't even have a word for it. Well, there's, I used to get down on myself for this, and I'm realizing now it's who I am. But there are some artists and musicians that sit down to work with a fully formed thing in their head, and they're more like an architect. They've got this thing and they're just translating it, right? When I play guitar, I just mess around. I don't sit down with the song ready to come out of me. I discover it. I'm more like a gardener. You know what I mean? I like plant some seeds and then I see what grows. And I feel like for me to finally find these ways where I can do that kind of at a larger scale, but it's exactly that. It's like, I collaborate with something, with chance, with chaos. I like see, throw the I Ching bones and see what happens, and then make something based on that, rather than sitting down and going, oh, I would like to draw this perfectly,
Yeah. It works though. I mean, it's so interesting. I mean, that's one of the reasons why, I mean, other than us being friends, I think I have you set on Facebook that anytime you post something, it pops up first.
Oh, nice.
Because I like seeing, I think you used to be able to do it. I think now you have to like
click a bell or something, or follow. Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And then they'll appear.
Dude, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Because I like following, like again, when you did those videos about all that stuff, and I like seeing when you post about artwork, and I comment on your stuff every once in a while.
I know, and I love it. I'm always worried that I'm turning people off with all that stuff. So it's good to know that there are people like you who are okay with me being as scattered as I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like kind of being a little bit all over the place, because I get nervous. I'm like, no more Kings fans are going to hate this bleepy bloopy stuff. And then I'm like, they're going to hate, whatever. But it's nice to know that.
But I think I think that's a merit of a true artist, is I think scatterbrain is part of it. Because
it's a curse.
If you worked in a linear sense, that like you kind of get stagnant after a while. Like you kind of have to expand the ideas of what you're exploring to figure out your creativity.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. That wouldn't be me. I couldn't do that.
So yeah, I mean, that's why I like following it. And any listeners out there, I recommend they follow you as well. Follow you on Facebook, follow you on Twitter. I think I don't use Twitter that often, but I think one of the last times I discovered that one of the Duffer brothers, you look like one of the Duffer brothers from Stranger Things.
Yes.
And I think I posted that on Twitter. I tweeted you about that on Twitter or something. I was like, is Pete the third Duffer brother?
Oh my gosh. Which is an honor. It would be an honor to be, because it sounds like they're my people. Yeah. To come up with Dungeons and Dragons based 80s goodness.
I can't wait for that show to come back too.
Yeah, season 4. Oh my gosh.
Come back soon. But you and I are going to talk, like I think we talked before we started recording. We're going to start doing some more regular, like more often Zoom calls so we can catch up on pop culture. And
so our catch-ups don't have to be so like, oh my God, I forgot about that too.
Yes.
Yeah, we need something more regular.
So we don't take an hour before we start recording to get caught up on everything. We'll be caught up. But I know we're going to talk about like podcasting, about seeing if you can get into podcasting, and there's a bunch of stuff we're gonna talk about. But
nice,
yeah, so I highly recommend everybody follows you on social media, Das PD, pretty much everywhere. As far as this podcast goes, if you like the program, please leave a review online. The more reviews I get, the more I can do with this podcast, because it's the more listeners I get to reach. Also, be sure to follow Wilhelm on social media, facebook.com/the Wilhelm podcast, and the Wilhelm pod on Instagram and Twitter. Finally, if my cat would stop meowing for a second, because I can't edit that out. Shh. Thank you. He'll keep talking, and I don't do any edits, so all of this is going in the podcast.
That's awesome.
If you have an idea for a topic or a theme you want to hear me cover, film franchise, debate, anything at all, just let me know on any of the platforms I mentioned, or you can email me directly at thewilhelmpodcast@gmail.com. Pete, you are welcome back anytime.
I'll be back, man. You can't keep me away.
I hope this was fun for you.
Absolutely.
We got to talk vampire movies.
I know. What the heck?
So, and you made me think like, okay, I need to go back and rewatch Blade, because I've been meaning to do it for a while. I got to check out Blood Red Sky. I got to check out Let the Right One In.
We get homework to do now.
Yeah. And there'll be other topics. Like you said, you looked at the list and there was
I wanted to do 10 of them. Yeah. There's that.
Yeah. And you probably could do all of the ones that you wanted to do.
Nice.
Because this podcast, hopefully, I love doing this podcast because I get introduced to new movies. I get to talk about movies. I get to do it with friends, and I get to introduce other people who listen to movies that they might have never seen or heard of.
Absolutely.
So I just love doing it. But as I mentioned earlier on, we're at the end of the podcast. Stay to the end. We're less than a minute. Well, this will be wrapped up. You'll be hearing Zombie Me by Pete Mitchell and No More Kings, which it's such a great song. I was debating between that or They're Coming to Get You, Barbara.
Yeah. Either would work.
But Zombie Me is a little more upbeat and a little more fun. They're both appropriate for Halloween.
Or The Living Dead. That's a fun one too.
Oh, I forgot about The Living Dead too.
It's a good one.
You have three zombie
songs. I have more than most bands have.
But no vampire songs.
Not yet. Give me time.
Yeah, there you go.
With this list, I'm going to take this list that you've given us. I'm going to take all 10 of ours and figure out a way to do an album.
I think what I'm going to have to do too, and I mentioned this to you before, I know I said less than a minute, and I'm going to go over that. But what a lot of people don't know is when this podcast was in early development a couple years back, I reached out to you to write a theme song. For the podcast, which I
called it the Wilhelm Files then, didn't you?
Yeah. So which unfortunately I did not use, but I still have it. So I feel like I need to play that at some point.
It's pretty sloppy. I think I submitted it basically as a demo, but
yeah, but it still sounded great.
It's fun. Yeah, it was a
you
fun
had a bunch of movie references in there.
That was the best part. Filling it with movie references. Yeah.
It was fun. I still have it.
Okay.
So I might have to sneak that in there at some point.
Yeah, you're welcome to.
So but Pete, thank you so much for doing this.
This is a blast, man. Thank you.
Stick around after I wrap up. And we'll chat some more. But to everybody else, all the listeners out there, thank you so much for being such a positive influence on this, for the feedback you've given me so far, and for sticking it out, and for being a fan of the podcast. Make sure to tell your friends about the podcast. But until next time, the next episode of Spooktober is Alfred Hitchcock films, which will be next week. So stick around for that. But until next time, we'll see you guys later. Take care.
I died last night. I tripped over my own shoelaces. I broke my spine. I fell on the sidewalk, landed on my face, and I thought, what a way to go. After all I've seen, I can't just press undo. No, I've become a zombie. Me. Now I slide down the street with no shoes on my feet, looking for brains to eat. I'm a zombie, me. To say hi, but all of my earthly charm had gone as she floated by, so distracted with the sound of her own cell phone. And I said,